So, according to a witness, an agitated man in a truck brandished a gun at the Staunton protest rally this past weekend. Chris Graham here, Augusta Free Press. And Staunton police confirmed that they are investigating a reported incident involving a man with a gun at that April 5th rally at the Augusta County Courthouse. This was one of more than, I think it was 1,200 was a number I saw of rallies under the label Hands Off that were held across the country and actually a few around the world in some foreign locales. We had one here in Augusta County. This is a pretty red area. I would estimate there were about 500 people at the rally. The courthouse in Augusta County is located in the city of Stanton, at least for now. The county is working to build a new county courthouse out in Verona in the county, and it should be open in the next couple of years. But in the meantime, the historic Augusta County Courthouse is still the courthouse of record, and it's in downtown Stanton. It's sort of on a postage stamp lot. Um, there's just a limited amount of space there, but it's because it's iconic. It's the kind of place that political things happen. Have I've been here covering politics in this market, my home market, for the past 30 years, and it's been the scene of a lot of rallies on both sides, Republican and Democrat. And But it's a really unique area from an accessibility standpoint. Across the street is the Augusta County District Court building, General District Court building, I should say, previous to the county and the two local cities, Stanton and Waynesboro, which operate a regional jail, agreeing to build a new regional jail out in Verona. This small area also was the home to the regional jail for this area. So very small area with a street that runs down the middle, Johnson Street, cornering at North Augusta Street. That is it's a little I think it's I felt a little danger when I was out there on Saturday. There was a lot of traffic going through, plenty of people who were driving through. It's not the kind of place, not the part of town that you would be unintentionally driving through on your way somewhere else. Really anytime, but especially on a Saturday afternoon. It was 80 degrees, beautiful day. You don't just end up there. So the fact that there was a lot of traffic on a Saturday afternoon from noon to 2 o'clock was because of the rally. And I reported over, let's see, I guess over the weekend, and then on Monday followed up about an incident that I was a personal witness to right after the rally. The official start of the rally was supposed to be 12:30. People started getting there way early, I understand. I didn't get there till about 12:30, and right at about 12:30, there was a big white truck that had modified smokestacks, and it was a diesel engine truck that the kid driving it could push a button and make black smoke fume out of it, and he was rolling his tires and squealing tires, and it was reckless driving. Let's just call it what it is. Um, the cops pulled him over. I actually ran down to where they finally got the vehicle stopped a couple blocks away. The guy didn't exactly stop right away with the blue lights flashing. That itself probably could have been something. But then I took pictures of the truck as police were confronting the driver. Assumed when I left that day that the young man who was driving had probably gotten at least a traffic ticket. Turns out, no, just got a warning. And then the kid drove through several more times doing the same thing. So, good job by the police there. You warned him, and he sure felt warned. So I wrote about that. And then, as I was trying to gather information about that, we put out a public call on our AFP Facebook page, inviting anyone who had pictures or video, perhaps of that incident or any of those drive-throughs with this particular truck to please send them our way. Well, one person sent an email to me about how actually before the rally officially started, there was an incident involving a man driving through in a white truck brandishing a gun. And several people witnessed this. Two talked with police. And I tracked down the one of the people who talked with police and talked with that person, and also submitted a Freedom of Information Act request with the City of Stanton Police Department. Did get a public record back. It was very limited. Everything was redacted basically, except for the fact that the time of the uh, police officer making contact was 12:16 p.m. and that the nature of the alleged defense was brandishing a weapon. Everything else was blacked out. But at least confirming that the police did talk to somebody, and then I had already talked to the person, in fact, by the time I got the Freedom of Information Act request response back. The basic details. I'm kind of going to follow my notes here from my story to make sure I get it all right here. The witness was standing at the top of a set of steps near the sidewalk on Johnson Street, leading to the courthouse ahead of the scheduled 12:30 rally. So if the police made contact at 12:16, you can presume this was at least several minutes before, 12:16 that this particular incident happened. Traffic, according to the witness, was backed up at the Johnson Street, Augusta Street stoplight. It was at a standstill. This is one of those stoplights because again I was in the area a lot this past Saturday. Um, it's an odd one because it's a four-way intersection, but it's one-way traffic going. Yeah, I think it's one way. No, it can't be one-way traffic. It's the end of Augusta Street is really just it's almost like a cul-de-sac on the left side if I'm facing towards the intersection, and then the courthouse is to this side of me. It's really just about a block, and there's really not a lot of traffic on this side, so there's a stoplight there. For some reason, though, the lights really cycle slow. The stoplights really cycle really slow there. So, I mean, you can get stuck there for a couple minutes, even though there's really just not a lot of traffic there in general, even on this day. Something to work on there, City of Stanton. So the witness said, directly in front of me, maybe 30 feet away, I see this man in his truck and he looked very agitated. The passenger side window was down, which I thought was odd, the witness said. The man proceeded to reach over and pull a gun uh, out of a black bag sitting on the front passenger seat. All right, that gets your attention. I know, I'm parenthetically out here. When I live in Waynesboro. Stanton's about a 20-minute drive. As I was driving over, I was thinking through, all right, what happens if kind of scenarios. And, the rolling coal truck, that's what the police called the incident where the guy was burning out his tires and smoking and everything else. Um, if, if something happens where, I mean, there's something that could be a danger. I'm a journalist and I've got a phone in my hand with the camera and video and everything else. But I decided that my priority would actually be safety, not getting video or anything like that. And that rolling coal thing, I mean, it passed just a couple feet from me. This guy in his huge truck going, it had to be 30 miles an hour, squealing his tires. Passed by real close, and if the kid had lost control, I mean, he'd have taken out a crowd of people. So yeah, a lot of folks that I talked to after the event said that they had put similar thoughts in their head, including this witness. Actually, I'll say too. So pulled the gun out of the black bag, held it up for show, the witness said, and at this moment, another witness at the scene said out loud, "He has a gun." So that gets people's attention. Glad I wasn't there for that, but maybe on the other side of the journalist me definitely wishes I was there for that. At this point, the man reached back into his bag, still clearly agitated, the witness said, and took off the hat he was wearing and slammed it down the passenger seat. At that moment, the stoplight turned green, the witness said, and the traffic started moving, and the guy drove off. So, I mean, we don't know if the light had been a little longer. Um, we don't know what would have happened or what could have happened. This all happened in a period of about 15 seconds, the witness said. Now, the witness was able to get the license plate number from the truck and shared that information with police. So we know that police, I mean, if police have the license plate number, they know who the person was. Of note here, the white truck in this incident is not the white truck in the rolling coal incident. They're different white trucks. I got a picture of that white truck from one of the people who communicated with us after our public call for help with any videos or photos. The picture I got has the person's license plate number clearly on it. Also, the bumper has insignia from actually the words Iron Cross and an Iron Cross logo. And so, I mean, that's neo-Nazi. They're advertising themselves there, which is fine. I mean, it's kind of good to know who the people are. Um, that driver was pulled over, I mentioned, given a warning, and warning didn't really do any good. I asked for a incident report in that particular case, and there was none. So that guy was given a thumbs up to do what he did several times later throughout this. I did get video, actually. One person did send a snippet of video. They were actually shooting video of something else, happened to go through what they had and saw that, hey, look, I actually have a brief few seconds of this guy burning out in front of the courthouse. That would seem to be clear indication of reckless and aggressive driving, which is a class one misdemeanor in Virginia, but the police don't seem to care. Um, Yay, police here in our little neck of the woods. Um, so at this stage, from talking with the witness that I talked with yesterday, the witness was told that police wouldn't pursue anything unless someone pressed charges. So the witness said that this person will press charges against the person who had brandished a weapon at people. And so we'll see. I'm saying we'll see because you know, the Staunton Police, I'm rubbing my eyes here because maybe dramatically, I don't know. The police here like to send out press releases about the most inane of things. Uh, I- I'm not holding my breath that they'll make this public. Let's just say that. And, I'm not identifying the witness for probably an obvious reason. We've got a picture of another of these white trucks with Nazi insignia on it. This person eventually is going to have to be willing to testify. Talk with police at length again, and then be willing to testify, which means become public. Um, and that can make you subject to I mean, lots of things with the way this world works. I mean, this person brandished a gun. So, and okay, you got to think if you're driving through this area again, I pointed out that this is not an area you randomly end up in. You're not driving from one place to another, and this is an area you're going through. It's just not the case. There's easier ways to get from one part of Stanton to the other than driving through here. Even on a non-protest rally day, it's not a great place to just, pass through. If you're driving through this area, you're a MAGA who's clearly agitated by just, a few hundred people protesting peacefully, um, and you packed a bag with a gun in, left it in your front passenger seat. That's not an accident. You did this intentionally. I think we avoided two different times, at least this past Saturday, having a mass tragedy. I mean, the young man driving the truck, um, didn't it wouldn't take much for him to have lost control as he's doing his burnouts in front of this crowd and this small on this tiny cramped street and run over lots of people, and we make national headlines that way. It wouldn't have taken much, maybe just a few more seconds of that stoplight still being red for this guy who was slamming his hat and pulling a gun out of a bag to just point it at people and start shooting. And I'm saying all that to then say, Stanton Police, you need to do your job. You need to do your job because if you don't do your job this time, next time we might be one of those national headlines.